Welcome to Digital Marketing for Contractors, a podcast for home improvement contractors to help you crush your lead goals and take your business to the next level. Join us each episode as we give you powerful insights and practical tips on the best digital marketing strategies to help you grow your home improvement business. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Digital Marketing for Contractors. I'm Caitlyn Noble.
And I'm Meredith Medlin, and today we are talking about something that I genuinely believe is probably the most underestimated growth lever in home improvement contracting.
Oh, strong opener. Set it up.
All right. Reviews, reputation, and referrals. The 3 R's.
Three favorite R's.
And I say underestimated because every contractor knows that these things matter, but few are actually managing them with any kind of intention or system. It's all reactive. So a review comes in, maybe they respond, maybe they don't. Somebody refers a neighbor, great. Nobody does anything, though, to make anything happen more consistently.
It just kind of happens in the background instead of being treated like the revenue driver it actually is.
Exactly. And home improvement specifically, where trust is everything, where you are literally letting strangers into your home, where a single project can cost tens of thousands of dollars, your reputation is your marketing, like full stop.
Full stop, period. Today, we're going to cover 3 big areas. First, managing your reputation across platforms, not just Google, but Yelp, Houzz, BBB, all of it. Second, responding to reviews the right way, both the glowing ones and the ones that make you want to throw your phone across the room. And third, building a system that actually gets you more Google reviews consistently, because volume and velocity matter more than most contractors realize.
Yeah, and we will weave in how reviews plug directly into your paid ads and your local SEO as well, because it all connects.
Oh, it really does. Let's get into it.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with the big picture, because I think a lot of contractors are thinking about reviews a bit too narrowly. They're focused on Google, which that makes sense.
Yeah.
Google's the priority, but your reputation lives in more places than just that. And homeowners are checking more places than most contractors really assume.
Yeah, let's, Meredith's going to get to do the honors, I think, today.
I am.
Why don't you walk us through the platform landscape?
Sure. Okay. So Google Business Profile is obviously ground zero. That's where the highest volume of reviews live for most contractors, and it's the most visible. But then you've got Yelp, which has a complicated relationship with contractors, and we'll get into that. Then you've got Houzz, which is really relevant for kitchen and bath remodelers, interior renovation, anything where design is part of the conversation. You got Angie, Home Advisor. Those are review platforms.
But I forget that.
Yeah, they're review platforms, but also lead gen platforms at the same time. And then BBB, which carries more weight with older homeowners than a lot of marketers tend to give it credit for. And then you got Facebook, which isn't traditionally thought of as a review platform, but homeowners absolutely go. Check a business's Facebook page,
Definitely.
And then they'll look at the recommendations, the posts, the neighborhood groups, which I know is something that you are passionate about.
Oh, I love a good neighborhood group. The last one is something I want to come back to. Just like I said, the neighborhood group thing is genuinely a major referral channel for home improvement that nobody talks about enough.
Yeah, but let's start now with platform management. The number one mistake we see is inconsistency. A contractor has 140 reviews on Google,
Wow.
but 6 on Houzz, and a Yelp listing that they haven't touched in 3 years.
Yikes.
And 2 bad reviews sitting at the top because nobody has ever responded to them.
And in a homeowner who finds them on Houzz first sees 6 reviews in an unresponsive business and moves on.
Yeah, they're gone. And the contractor has no idea it even happened because they're not looking at anything except for Google.
Exactly. And so what does good platform management actually look like day to day?
Okay, first you need to know what's out there. Do a full audit.
Yeah.
Claim every listing you haven't claimed. Make sure that your name, address, phone number, and website are consistent across all of them. Inconsistency in your NAP data, NAP stands for name, address, phone, is not just a reputation issue. It really is a local SEO issue because
Correct.
Google uses that consistency as a trust signal, and also AI search platforms as well.
100%. And, when our contractors come to work with Fat Cat, that's the first thing we do is we run your site through a NAP audit, and we get all of that cleaned up because it is so critical.
Yep.
So beyond the audit, you need a monitoring system. You cannot be manually checking 6 platforms every day. It's just ridiculous. You can't. There are reputation management tools that consolidate all of your reviews into one dashboard. Bird Eye, Podium, Nice Job are ones we see used in the industry. You get notified when a review comes in anywhere. You can respond from one place. That's the infrastructure that makes this manageable at scale.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Yelp specifically, because I know contractors have had a complicated relationship with the platform.
Complicated is generous.
Yeah, and there's frustration. It's real. Yelp's algorithm aggressively filters reviews, especially from accounts that don't have a lot of Yelp activity. So a contractor gets 5 genuine 5-star reviews from happy customers, and Yelp is going to filter out 4 of them because those customers don't use Yelp regularly. So it can feel kind of rigged. Right. And I mean, I understand why, you'd be frustrated.
I'm frustrated even hearing that, but here's the thing. Yelp still has real traffic, especially in certain markets for certain demographics. And if you have a thin or negative Yelp presence and a homeowner checks there, that's a problem. So we tell contractors, don't obsess over Yelp, but don't ignore it either. Claim your listing, make sure your information is complete and accurate, and respond to whatever reviews do make it through that filter. That is the minimum.
Yeah. And what about House? Because I feel like that one is really underutilized, specifically for the remodelers.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, we've got some, custom home builders, luxury home builders that are obviously active on House, but we really don't touch it with our remodeling contractors. And I think it's because House is such a design-forward platform. People on it are homeowners who are actively planning renovation projects, looking for inspiration photos, comparing contractors. So the intent there is extremely high, and a contractor with a well-built-out House profile, the key here, good project photos, and a solid review count stands out because so many competitors have abandoned it or just don't take it seriously.
Yeah. And so for a kitchen or bath remodeler, or even a siding company that does a lot of high-end work, and you have great before and afters, House is absolutely worth the investment.
It definitely is. And I don't even know if there is an investment. I think Yelp, yes.
Just a time investment with House.
Totally. So totally worth it. And the photo content you build for your house can be repurposed everywhere. Your website, your meta ads, your Google Business Profile post, one photo shoot, simple platform, multiple platforms. That's how you build a content library efficiently.
And before we move on, BBB, how seriously should contractors take that?
I mean, more seriously than the under 40 crowds tend to. The homeowners spending real money on a major home remodel project, a full kitchen renovation, whole house siding replacement, master bath remodel, they skew older. And that demographic absolutely checks the BBB. An A+ rating and a clean complaint history is a trust signal that still carries weight over with that buyer.
Yeah, and if you have unresolved BBB complaints that are sitting out there,
that is actively costing you jobs. Someone price shopping 2 contractors, everything else is equal, and then one BBB complaint just that does it.
Yeah.
So they're calling the clean one every single time.
Okay. So the platform management key takeaway is know where you exist, make it consistent, monitor it actively, and treat every platform as a potential first impression with your homeowners because you don't know where your next customer is going to find you.
And, we mentioned a few, monitoring systems. I mean, we don't have tied-in partnerships with any of them. We have used most of them on behalf of our clients who have signed up, but I would seriously consider that. And if you do need help from an agency to monitor those reviews and respond to them, obviously we're here.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's talk about what happens when they find you and they've left a review. So review responses, this is where I see contractors leave so much trust on the table, and it goes both directions, not responding to good reviews and responding badly to negative ones.
Yeah, so let's start with the positive reviews because I think people underestimate how much a response matters even there on a positive review.
It matters so much. When you respond to a positive review, you're not just talking to the person who left it. You're talking to every future homeowner who reads that review thread. A warm, specific, personalized response signals that this is a company that actually cares about its customers. It reinforces the experience the reviewer described, and it keeps your Google business profile active, which, believe it or not, Google does notice that.
And so what does a good positive review response actually look like? Like, what's a real example?
Yeah, specific, not generic, not just, thanks for the kind words, we appreciate your business. That tells the reader nothing. You want to reference something from the review itself. If they mentioned your crew was clean and respectful, reflect that back. We're really proud of how our team treats every home they work in. If they mentioned a specific project detail, acknowledge it. The more specific the response, the more real and trustworthy it reads.
Right. And I'm pretty sure it's also good for local SEO too.
Absolutely. And AI.
And AI visibility. So all of that. And honestly, it just shows the reviewer that you actually read what they wrote. Like you took the time.
People notice that and appreciate it. Now, negative reviews. This is where things get spicy.
Yeah. This is a place where contractors really struggle. And, I get it.
Yeah, they do. And understandably, you've poured your heart into a project. You think it went great. And then someone leaves a 1-star review, or heck, even a 2-star review burns. Yeah. Saying your crew left a mess and didn't return their calls. Your first instinct is to defend yourself, maybe just too strongly.
Yeah. And honestly, that instinct is almost always wrong when it comes to this.
Almost always, because here's what matters. The audience for your response is not the person who left the bad review. The relationship may be unsalvageable, and that's okay. The audience is every other homeowner who reads that exchange. And what they're watching for is, how does this company handle conflict? Are they professional? Do they take accountability? Or do they get defensive and make it worse?
Yeah, the ones that make it worse are pretty painful to read when you see that back and forth.
Yeah, they really are. The contractor who replies with, "This is completely false. We have no record of this customer. This is a competitor trying to hurt our business." Even if that's true, it just reads terribly. It sounds defensive. It raises more questions than answers.
Yeah, absolutely. So if that's the wrong way, what is the right way to respond to a negative review?
Yeah, the framework I always like to come back to is acknowledge, don't argue. Express genuine concern, take it offline. Something like, "We're really sorry to hear your experience didn't meet our standards. That's genuinely not the experience we want any homeowner to have. We'd love the chance to make this right. Please reach out to us directly at," give your phone number. That response does several things. It shows accountability without admitting the specific wrongdoing. It shows future readers that you're responsive, and it moves the conversation out of the public eye where you can actually resolve it.
Exactly. And if the review is completely fabricated, like what if you genuinely have no idea who this person is and it really is just a fake review?
Same approach, slightly different wording. We've looked through our records and we're not able to locate a project matching your description. We'd really like to connect and understand what happened. Please reach out so we can look into this. You're not calling them a liar publicly. You're creating an opening for a resolution while signaling to readers that something may be off.
Smart. And what about the fake reviews? Can you get fake reviews removed?
My favorite question. I just talked to a prospect and they're like, "We've paid thousands of dollars to get reviews removed." And I was like,
"Oh my gosh."
What? But yeah, anyways, that being said, you can try. Google does have a flagging process, and if a review clearly violates their policies for someone like who wasn't a customer, if it contains, God forbid, hate speech, if it's spam, you can flag it for removal. The process is slow and inconsistent. That is still the case. The better play is to actually just respond professionally and then bury that bad review with a wave of legitimate positive ones.
Right. And that brings us to velocity. So if you have 200 Google reviews and one of those reviews is bad, that one bad review has almost no impact on how people perceive you.
Correct.
But if you only have 12 reviews and one is bad, that's 8% of your profile being a red flag.
Volume is the protection. That's why getting reviews consistently matters so much, not just for rankings, which we'll get to, but as a buffer against the inevitable 1-2 star that everyone gets eventually.
Yeah, and there's something I want to flag specifically for the home improvement context, which is emotionally charged negative reviews. home improvement projects can go wrong. Delays happen, scope creep happens, and we're human, so miscommunication happens. Yep. And homeowners who feel burned, they will go hard on reviews. They're not just frustrated, but they're angry, and they want to be heard.
I mean, I've openly on this podcast before said I have left a review for a home improvement company that we never did business with, and on behalf of my personal life, because we had a, please do not disturb. We have a newborn baby sleeping sign on our door, and the canvasser still.
Lord have mercy.
And we have dogs. I mean, and I was vulnerable, sensitive, and it just irked me that they didn't have a care for something going on in my life. And that's exactly what you're saying. So,
right.
But the worst thing you can do in that moment is dismiss my energy, dismiss that angry energy.
Yeah. And the best contractor responses that we've ever seen on negative reviews read things it was written by somebody who genuinely cared about making it right. It wasn't just a PR script
right.
or a legal disclaimer. It was literally just a human saying, this matters to us, tell us more, and we want to fix it.
And sometimes, not always, but sometimes that response actually gets the homeowner to come back and update their review. Not because you asked them to, but because they felt heard.
And honestly, that is worth so much more than any ad that you can run.
And let me just say, those canvassers have not come back to my
Yeah, I bet they have not.
Okay, let's talk about the proactive side, actually getting more reviews in the first place, because that's where most contractors have the biggest operational gap.
Yeah, so let's talk about actually generating Google reviews at scale, because this is where most contractors have a huge operational gap and they do good work, but their customers are happy. They still only have 30 reviews, and they've been in business for over 10 years.
That's because you never ask. Or you've asked once, it's awkward, it's at the end of the job, and you just leave it at that.
Yeah, and a lot of times the homeowner fully intends to go and leave a review, but they get busy, life happens, and they just forget.
Yes, the ask has to be systematized. It cannot rely on the technician or sales rep remembering to bring it up at the right moment. The most effective review generation programs are automated and triggered, something that happens in your CRM or your field management software, and a review request goes out automatically.
Right. And what is the trigger?
Sure. So typically job completion or invoice paid, whichever makes more sense for your workflow. The homeowner then will get a text, and the message is warm and personal, not Acme Roofing, please review us, leave us a review, please. Something that actually sounds like it came from a human. Hey, Linda, this is Mike from Acme. It was a pleasure working with you on your roof last week. If you have a couple of minutes and are happy with how things turned out, a Google review would mean the world to us. It helps other homeowners in your neighborhood find contractors they can trust. And then make sure you have that direct link to your Google business profile included. And so it's one tap to that review form.
Right. And timing matters a lot here, right? Because, what if you send the request too soon?
You catch them before the experience has been settled. And if you wait too long, the momentum is gone. The sweet spot is usually 24 to 72 hours after project completion. The job is done. The house looks great. They're in that post-project glow where they genuinely want to tell someone how great everything looks.
Yeah, and that post-project glow is real. I felt it as a homeowner. You're walking through your newly remodeled bathroom and you just want to show somebody, tell somebody. It's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. That's your window. And if that first text doesn't get a response, a single follow-up 3 to 5 days later is completely appropriate. You don't want to be pushy, but one reminder is not pushy. It's helpful.
Yeah. And what about asking in person? Does that still work?
Yeah, it works incredibly well, actually. But it needs to be paired with removing the friction. So the mistake is asking in person and then saying, just search us for us on Google. That requires way too many steps. If your installer or project manager ask in person, they should immediately text or email a direct link right then and there. We've even created leave behind cards, for our clients with a QR code to that Google Business Profile page.
Yeah.
So the ask and the link have to happen together, or honestly, you're not going to get that review.
Right. And like you said, we've done leave behind cards, NFC tap cards, QR codes, having those at the job site.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely
100%.
worth it.
Totally works. Like I said, it absolutely works. I would have those no brainer, even, on the back of your business card if you want to. So
easy.
I think I just want to say one other thing. I know we talked about texting. I think texting is super easy because, it's right there all on your phone. You're already on your phone all the time. Email is important too. So most of these review generation softwares that exist, your CRM including, can also email that same request out.
Right. And I think we just did a podcast with a tool called Get the Referral. If you are interested in some of these softwares, but that was a quick plug. Okay. So let's talk really quick about why volume and velocity specifically matter, because I do want contractors to understand that it isn't just about social proof, but there's real algorithmic stakes here.
Yes. This connects directly to your paid ads and your local visibility. On local service ads, which we talked about in the previous episode, your review count and your rating are primary ranking factors. Google is literally sorting you against competitors based on how many reviews you have and how good they are. Let me say that again. So your LSA ads are being shown not just because of budget, but because of the volume of reviews that you have. A contractor with 40 reviews and a 4.8 rating is going to consistently outrank a contractor with 12 reviews and a 4.6, all else being equal.
And in local organic search, your Google Business Profile visibility, your map pack ranking, it's all the same story.
Same story. Google's algorithm treats reviews as trust signals. Consistent, recent reviews signal that your business is active and legitimate. A business that got a review 8 months ago looks stagnant compared to ones getting 2 to 3 reviews a week.
Yeah. And that velocity piece is something that I don't think most contractors think about. It's not just the total count. Recency matters.
Recency. And Regency. We want to be regal as well. Recency matters a lot. This is why a burst campaign where you go ask 50 past customers all at once is less effective long-term than a steady drip of new reviews every week. That drip is going to win.
All right. Let's talk about something that I love, which is taking your reviews off platform and actually putting them to work in your marketing.
This is so underutilized. Your reviews are content. They are free, authentic, trust-building content that you did not have to write.
That's a win.
Most contractors leave them sitting on Google where only people who are searching for you guys on Google ever see them.
And so what does it actually look like to put reviews to work with your marketing?
A few things. First, your website. A rotating testimonial section on your homepage is table stakes. But go further. Put relevant reviews on your individual service pages. Someone on your roofing page should see reviews specifically about real roofing jobs. Someone on your bathroom remodel page sees bathroom remodel reviews. The more contextually matched the social proof, the more persuasive it is.
It feels relevant, instead of just just generic filler.
Exactly, 100%. Second, your paid ads. Review snippets and star ratings can be incorporated into your Google ad extensions. Google calls these seller ratings, and they have increased your click-through rates, I'm going to say that again. And they increase your click-through rate meaningfully when you have those seller ratings attached to your Google ad extensions. Click-through rates go up. So seeing that 4.9 stars in a search ad before even visiting the website builds pre-trust. And on Meta, pulling a quote from a genuine customer review and turning it into ad creative is incredibly effective. It is word of mouth at digital scale.
And people trust other homeowners more than they're going to trust a contractor talking about themselves, selling themselves, because, that's just human nature.
Always will be. And third, your sales collateral, y'all. If your sales reps are going out to estimate jobs. They should have a leave behind or a digital presentation that includes customer reviews before and after photos. The homeowner you're sitting across from is thinking, how do I know this company is going to do what they say? A printed page with 10 real reviews from a neighbor in that area, neighbors in that area, is one of the most persuasive close tools that you can put in a sales rep's hands.
The neighbor thing is particularly powerful when it comes to home improvement.
Hugely powerful. If you can show someone a review from a customer 2 streets over who had the same project done, that proximity creates a connection that no amount of advertising can buy.
And that is the kind of bridge that we take into referrals, because that neighbor-to-neighbor dynamic is exactly how referrals work. They just happen organically.
Yep, exactly. The same difference between a review and a referral is really just the delivery mechanism. The trust transfer is the same. Someone like me hired this company and had a great experience. Whether that comes through a Google review, a Facebook neighbor group post, or a direct personal recommendation, it's the same psychological mechanism.
Which is why building systems around both of those, reviews and referrals, is so important, because one reinforces the other.
That's the flywheel. More reviews build trust. More trust builds referrals. Referrals leave reviews. And the whole thing compounds over time.
All right, let's land the plane, Caitlyn. Let's hit the recap.
Platform management. Okay, know where your reputation lives. It's not just on Google. Claim everything. Make your information consistent everywhere and actively monitor across Yelp, Houzz, BBB, Facebook, and Angie. A bad impression on any one of those platforms can cost you a job you never knew you lost.
And review responses. Respond to every review, positive or negative. Treat positive responses as a conversation with future customers, not just a thank you to the reviewer. On negative reviews, acknowledge, don't argue, and just take it offline. Your audience is the homeowner reading 6 months from now, not the person who just left that complaint. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's a really great reminder. So Google review volume and velocity. You need to build a systematic, automated ask process triggered by job completion. Time it right, make it frictionless with a direct link, and think in terms of a steady weekly drip rather than burst. Volume is your protection. Recency is your signal to Google that you're active and trusted.
And then let's put those reviews to work. Put them on your website, in your Google and Meta ads, in your sales collateral. Reviews are content, and they are your most credible marketing asset, and most contractors really are just leaving them sitting unused.
That's exactly right. So the through line today is that reputation in home improvement is not passive. It doesn't just happen because you do good work. It has to be managed with intention, systemized, and it has to be activated. The contractors who treat it the way they have a compounding advantage. I'm going to say that one more time. So many
Run that
words.
back, Turbo.
The contractors who treat it that way, treat it with intention, systematically, and activated. You are going to have a compounding advantage that gets harder and harder to catch up to.
There we go. Very well said. Okay. So if you got value out of this episode today, please subscribe, leave us a review. Yes, we see the irony in that ask, and share it with a contractor who needs to hear it.
And if you want us to go even deeper on any of this, a full episode on review generation tools or how to build a contractor referral program from scratch, just let us know.
And of course, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We will be back next week.
See you then.
Digital marketing for contractors is created by Fat Cat Strategies. For more information, visit fatcatstrategies.com.